So let's chat a little bit about. So the reason I decided to do this live tonight is that I was talking to a videographer on this past weekend shooting a wedding. He's a new videographer, never worked with the guy, and we're talking about he's trying to get his stuff out of off the ground and his videography business, and he wants to do weddings and stuff. So we're talking about this, and the whole saturated market conversation started right there. So saturated markets, market saturated, too many people shooting, too many people. You know what? I feel like there's too many people doing all kinds of stuff, right? Wherever we go, there's a lot of people. I mean, look at social media today. Like everybody's social media, everybody doing reels, everybody's doing TikTok, everybody's doing Twitter, everybody's like all over. Everybody is all over. And I keep seeing this. I don't want to say trend, but I keep seeing this pattern of people coming to me asking for advice on marketing, advice on this, and they say, I'm not booking, the market saturated. I'm not booking, the market saturated. I keep hearing this, and I'm thinking to myself, there is something else that preventing people from booking. It's not, you can't just blaming on the market is a really easy way out. It's a really easy way to say, oh, the market's saturated, nobody's booking, blah, 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 blah. And we take the foot off the gas pedal and just sit back and just hope for the better, right? That's exactly what you cannot do. The more saturated the market is, the more you have to work. You have to work double, triple. And you need to look at people who's not getting affected by the saturated market. We've been booked like for the past 4 years, like, hello, welcome, Raymond Visual Photography. So we're talking about saturated market here tonight. So we need to look at people who we've been booked for the past 4 years. Fully booked the entire year, and mostly weddings. And what we're going to talk about here tonight doesn't pertain only to weddings. Malina Jang, welcome. What we're going to talk about tonight here is not just for weddings. It's photography in general, right? So if you are in business, if you are selling, if you are booking clients, and if you're having problems booking right now, and if you think it's saturated market, you're not booking because the market is saturated, this is a good conversation for you to be in. I don't want to make this a monologue. I talk. I want you guys to interact with me. I want you guys to ask questions. I want you guys to give your opinions also on this. So again, let's go back a little bit here. We've been booked for the past 4 years, full all year round. This year I've been fully booked since May, I guess, April, May. I'm not sure. It was like before the end of first semester. I think I booked like 2 or 3 weddings more after May, because we really we reach our number of weddings I want to do this year. And for next year, I have, I think, six or seven. I don't know, because I think it's 6, because I booked one last week. 6 weddings, only 6 spots left for next year for weddings for next year. So let's think about this. The market's saturated. Yeah, there's a lot of people shooting. Alaska 7, welcome. So there's a lot of people shooting, yes. So the market's saturated. It's not saturated for you. It's not saturated for your neighbor. It's saturated to everybody, right? Everywhere you go, there's a lot of photographers. Doesn't matter which area you are, which part of the country you are, if you shoot weddings, maternity, whatever it is, right? So, and this idea of doing this live came from a wedding that I was shooting this weekend, Saturday, and I was talking to the videographer, it's a new videographer. I had never worked with the guy, so we're talking about marketing during dinner and stuff. We're having dinner, and we're talking about it. And he's talking about, oh man, I tried to get my business off the ground and try to get things going, but the market is so saturated, I'm not getting anywhere. That's what's like, what do you mean by saturated? And he kept talking about stuff, and I was like, well, there's more to this than just the market saturated, because the market saturated for me, and I keep booking. So and it's not because I'm the most amazing photographer. No, I think I'm decent, but there's more to that. Let's talk a little bit about what I do, what I see that people are not doing, that may be making the difference, right? And again, this is not only for weddings. This is for whatever genre you're shooting. If you are in business, if you're selling, if you have, if you're booking clients, this is for you. And if you're struggling booking right now, this is for you. First thing, let's talk about market here. And I don't want to extend this too long. I want to go like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and that's it. Let's talk about marketing here. Every time we talk about marketing, people keep thinking, what's the best way to do market? Where do you market? Because that was one of the questions he asked me. Where do you market that you find your clients? I mean, that's one of the first mistakes that we make. And I made that mistake for many years. Where do you market? There's not one answer to this. It's not. People are still looking for that magic bullet, the silver bullet that's gonna solve all the problems, right? There's no such a thing. There's no such a thing. Today I understand that marketing is a 360-degree approach. You have to think wider. You have to think bigger than just, oh, I'm going to put my name on Wedding Wire. I'm going to put my name on this magazine. I'm going to put my name here and there. No, it's way more than that. It is Alan Martinez. Alan, how are you? Welcome. So marketing is way more than what people are thinking. It's not just like one focus. I'm going to market on Instagram. I'm going to market on Facebook. Marketing is you. You are the market. You are your brand. You represent your brand 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 a year. You represent your brand. You work for your brand all the time. What do I mean by that? Be careful what you say on social media. Be careful. You're not going to see me get involved in political discussions on social media. Although sometimes I want to, but no, I don't get involved on that, because that is my brand. I'm representing my brand. Every time I open my mouth, every time I type something on the keyboard, I'm representing my brand. And this is marketing. This is when you need to think about what you say, what you do, especially social media. Social media today, it makes or it breaks you, right? We all know that. But when I start thinking about marketing, me being the main entity of my marketing efforts, things start changing, because now I'm thinking 24/7 on my business, right? How I dress, how I approach, how I behave on a wedding day, right? Because on a wedding day, as a wedding photographer, on a wedding day, you being watched all the time, and people who are getting married are friends with people who are getting married. So bridesmaids are probably going to be your next clients, right? The sister of the bride, the brother of the bride, the groom, those are your next clients. So Edwin Collin, welcome, brother. These are your next clients. And when you are on a wedding day, and again, I don't want to make this all about wedding, but the same goes for family, the same goes for high school seniors, right? The way you behave, the way you talk to people, the way you solve problems, the way you present yourself, it doesn't matter what it is, what's happening on a wedding day. My wife, who's my second shooter, Danny, my wife and I, we are always happy. It doesn't matter how messed up the timeline. This wedding this past weekend, for instance, right? Just past Saturday, we shot a wedding. We had 8 hours to shoot. Hey, Jeff. Welcome, brother. So we shot a wedding, 8 hours, no first look. I looked at the timeline and I said, this is going to be complicated. This is going to be a complicated wedding to shoot. I'm not going to have time to do everything. Fine. We do the best that we can with a smile on our face all the time. Why we do that? This doesn't mean we're not stressed. Yes, we are, because we're seeing the time go by and we have to rush. But because people watching us, we've been watched all the time. The all 8, 10, 12 hours wedding you shoot, we are being watched by other people who may hire you or not based on your behavior, based on how you treat other people, based on how you talk to the mother of the bride, based on how you take a guest request. So can you take a picture of us? That's one thing that comes back to us a lot on feedback is, my guests were really impressed. You guys took pictures of everybody. Everybody who asked you took pictures for. I mean, Jeff has worked with me on weddings, has seen this. We always go through the shot list and we say anything other than this, because shot list is your must-haves, right? So bride gives us a shot list, parents, I mean, all the family that they want in the picture. This is the must-have. Everything else, grab us during reception, and they do grab us during reception, and we always stop whatever we're doing to take that picture for them. Right? This shows attention. This is marketing. So the way I'm talking about this is like, this is what we do for marketing. This is what we do to make those people happy, because we don't know who they are. I have booked a few weddings of sons and daughters of guests that were in all the weddings that we shot, because they saw us working. They I mean, you know, the attention that we give to details of that type of stuff. So when we think about, if the market is already saturated, if we work in a very, very tight market, right, and if you not pay attention to those details, somebody else is, and this is going to affect your booking rate. So when you're thinking about market, you have to think of, when you think about marketing, you have to think about, you are the representation of your business. So that's why we're not going to see us, neither me nor Danny, talking about politics online, talking about anything that is controversial. We don't talk about it, because we never know who is reading this, right? Which could be okay if there was like a shortage of photographers, but that's not the case. The case today is like, everybody's a goddamn photographer today. Right? Everybody's photographing. We see new photographers popping up all the time. Some of them are crap, some of them are really good. Some of them are not going to survive in the market, we already know, and some of them will be your competition. So you have to be tuned in to all that type of stuff. So when you think about how am I going to succeed on a saturated market, first thing is marketing. And when you think about marketing, you have to think 360 degrees, everything that you can. Now, there are some marketing opportunities that sometimes pops up for us that we don't invest on. I don't advertise in magazines. This is the reason. Why don't you advertise in wedding magazines? One single reason. Competition is fierce. There's like a bunch of photographers there. I have to... So a bride looking at that magazine, she has to stop at my ad. So my picture needs to, amongst everything that we don't know what she's looking at on a bridal magazine, right? So she may look at photographer, videographer, venues, catering, DJs, whatever it is. Everybody's putting their eggs into those magazines. So a bride may be looking for anything else other than photographer. So the bride the bride must need a photographer at that point, and she needs to stop my ad. From my ad, she needs to jump on my website, and she needs to like my style to be able to contact us. See, there's a lot of variables that need to happen for that to be effective. And another thing that's really hard for me to conceptualize is, how do you measure the success of that campaign? Every piece of marketing that you do, you should be able to measure it. You should be able to. The only way to measure a campaign that's done on a magazine is like if you do like a coupon code or something like that. So you ask for the coupon code. If they have it, you know they came from the magazine. Other than that, there's no way to measure it. So every piece of marketing that you do, you should be thinking, how am I going to measure this? How am I going to know that this is effective? And magazine advertising is expensive. It's not cheap. So that's the type of advertising that we don't do. On the same line of measuring, for instance, one thing that I cut off of our marketing budget is Wedding Wire. I used to advertise on Wedding Wire. I was paying some good money to be on the first page, on the first 10 posts, but I booked a few weddings from there, and I think I priced myself out of Wedding Wire, and we get inquiries but not booking, and I was paying something like $300 a month for that advertising. And I said, okay, let's stop this, right? We kept the knot, and the knot keeps bringing brides to us. Is working for us so far. But Wedding Wire, I was advertising both Wedding Wire and the knot, so I cut Wedding Wire and didn't make any difference at this point, right? So the money that I had on Wedding Wire, I transferred that money into a company to manage my SEO, search engine optimization. Today, I'm ranking on second page on Google for Raleigh wedding photographer and wedding photographer Raleigh, North Carolina. We're ranking on the second page, and I'll tell you, today 70 to 80% of my leads come from Google. So I just transferred the money that I was spending on Wedding Wire that wasn't working and put into Google SEO, search engine optimization, right? Because people are online, this is the first place that they go to. All right, so number one, pay attention to how, keep in mind that if you're thinking about marketing, think about 360 degrees, and you are the main piece of marketing for your company. Mr. Zaconet, how are you, brother? Good to see you. That's number one. Number two, any marketing effort that you do needs to be measurable. If you can't measure it, you don't know if it's working or not. You're just giving money hoping that's going to work. And that is not a good strategy. All right? Number three, connections. Make connections. We're talking about, listen, we're talking about surviving on a saturated market, because that's what Vision Addict. Thank you for coming. Welcome. So we're talking about how to survive on a saturated market, right? And so we're talking about this I'm looking now at the marketing aspect of it, because Wonder Woman, welcome. Because when you talk about marketing, we're thinking about because this is the question that I get. Where do you put your marketing efforts? Where do you put marketing money that brings you clients? There's not one single place. It's a strategy. So that's why I'm talking about. It's a 360 degree that you need to be thinking about a bunch of stuff. So number one, you are your presence online. You are the face of your business. People just buy from people who they know, people who they like, and people who they trust. You need to be known, you need to be liked, you need to be trusted. So if you are online picking fights because of elections, you're picking fights because of religion, picking fights because of this and that, you 100% is excluding a bunch. You are excluding a bunch of people who could be your client. And you can say, you can tell me, oh, you know what, but those people, I don't want to shoot them. Good, because I do want to shoot those people. Whoever, the money is the same money that people who agree with me. So I don't care what your beliefs are. I don't talk about my political beliefs with clients. I don't talk about religion. I don't talk about anything that could jeopardize that relationship. this for me is marketing. This for me is when I'm having that conversation, I'm thinking about what I'm going to say, so don't say anything stupid, right? So any marketing efforts that you make need to be measurable. If you can't measure it, don't put money on it because you don't know if it's working or not, right? So number 3, social media. You need to be on social media. Either you like it or you don't like it. People are on social media. Today, social media of the hour is Instagram. Okay, I'm booking brides from Instagram. I'm booking high school seniors from Instagram, right? Because I have another profile that we keep posting on a regular basis, our work, and this is my profile for education side. But I have my photography profile, Photos by Clay NC, as in North Carolina, that where brides go and look at stuff. We book from there. Sometimes they don't come directly from there. They go there, they find my website, but that's the starting point. They start there on Instagram. All right, social media. So why are we talking about marketing? Because we're talking about surviving in a saturated market, right? We have a lot of people photographing today, a lot of photographers today, a lot of, every week there's a new photographer popping up, right? And if you are not thinking about this stuff, this may be the difference that makes or break your business, pretty much. Okay. Another thing that's crucial. It is crucial. Time you take to reply to your client, to your potential client, right? Reply as fast as you can. Reply to that inquiry as fast as you can. Shows your attention, shows that you are on the top of your business, shows attention, and be nice to people. Be nice. Stop this nonsense of not my client, not my client, not my client. Who's not my client? Not my client who doesn't want to pay me. This is not my client, right? So I have my style. People come to me because of my style. And those are the type of clients that I want. Sometimes you get some clients that are not a great fit. We're going to have a conversation, at least going to have a consultation to have a conversation to see where the client is. Can we align? If you cannot align, okay, cool, good luck, but it's not a good fit. Most of the time I can realign a little bit my work, which most of the time is like, oh, I love your composition, I love the colors, but I think there's too much drama for me. I can dial down the drama on my pictures. This is what I've been doing. If you follow my work from the beginning, now you're going to see a difference. My work is not as dramatic as it used to be. Still has some drama in there, but it's not as dramatic as it used to, because I found out that wasn't resonating as well as I thought it was going to with some brides. So I dialed down the drama, meaning, well, I download the drama, but I don't leave my style. What do I mean by that? I mean, hey Chris, what I mean by that is I can dial down the drama, but I'm not going to shoot light and airy. That's not who I am. That's not. I'm loyal to I'm loyal to my style. Okay? The fact that I'm dialing down the drama doesn't mean I'm going to shoot light and airy, because that's not what I shoot. That's not what I want to show. Right? So, but you can make some compromises. Don't think that it's not possible, because it is possible. It's possible because I'm doing it, so it's possible to do it. So, and these are the little tweaks that you have to make to survive on this saturated market, because there's a lot of people there, like I said in the beginning here, a lot of those people who are coming to the market, they're not going to survive. Some will, and some will, just keep, a low profile, and some will be a competition. So, but we've been in business for 8 years now. And I can hardly believe that's been already 8 years. So in 2 years, we're going to be celebrating 10 years of Photos by Clay. It's quite impressive. And we've been growing, like every year we grow a little bit, right? Things get easier every year, because we establish in the market now. We establish in the local market now. We get inquiries from places that know who we are, know that we are good fit for brides. Speaking of places, another thing, this is key. This is, hey Alan. So this is key for for the success of surviving on this tight and saturated market. Connections. And I'm going to explain to you what it is, because everybody's, when I started, you need to make connections, you need to make connections. What do you mean by you need to make connections? What does it mean? Break it down for me. And we figured out how to make those connections. So, depending what you shoot, I'm a wedding photographer. Of course, you shoot families, you shoot, high school seniors and maternity, everything. But the main drive of my website, once you figure that out, once you know what's going to be the main drive of your business, what's going to drive your business, because you cannot be everything to everybody. Stop this nonsense. Oh, I shoot everything. No, you can shoot a lot of different genres, but you have to have one main drive. My main drive is weddings, right? But I also shoot families. I also shoot high school seniors. I also shoot maternity. The only thing that we don't photograph is newborn. We don't photograph newborn. Everything else we photograph. But if you go to our website, photosbyclay.com, Mr. Anthony, welcome. If you go to our website, photosbyclay.com, you're going to see the homepage screams weddings and engagement. Weddings and engagement, right? Weddings and engagement. This is what you want. You want to be the guy. Oh, so and so. You know how I introduce myself to people? Hi, I'm Clay Souza. I'm a wedding photographer. I don't introduce myself as a photographer. I introduce myself as a wedding photographer. And then during the conversation, if the conversation turns to photography, we go, yeah, we shoot weddings, but also shoot families, high school seniors. But the main drive is weddings, right? Because people want specialists. Specialists is what's going to give you the edge. You're going to put you above people who shoot everything. So in my case, for instance, as a wedding photographer, I'm making connections. Connections with who? Connections with whom? Connections with venues. Connections with venues is big. Connections with wedding planners. Right? Diamondback, welcome. So we're talking about surviving a saturated market. So as a wedding photographer, I'm making connections with venues and wedding planners, because those people have a huge weight on the bride's decision. Right? One of the questions that I get a lot on bridal shows, you do bridal shows, one question that I get a lot, people say, oh, I'm going to get married in this and that venue. Have you ever shot there? That's the first question that people ask, right? And if I have, I would say, yes, I have. I probably have pictures to show. I show pictures of that place. If I don't, if I have never shot there, I go, I have never shot there, but listen, it's not, when I never shot in a place, it's not a disadvantage. It's actually an advantage, because it's a blank canvas for me, so I see things very different from what other photographers see. Right? And this is a venue that I really, really want to have in my portfolio. I'm really excited for the opportunity. Right? Show excitement. That is marketing. Marketing doesn't mean spending money on stuff sometimes. The way you talk to your clients, the way to your potential clients, the way you show excitement about your photography. I mean, this is marketing. This gets people pumped. People are going to say, this guy likes what he's doing. This is the guy who's going to shoot my wedding. Right? So, let's break down what does it mean to how I make connections to venues and wedding planners. Venues. Every single venue that I shoot the wedding, I send the entire online gallery to the venue. The bride gets the online gallery, the venue gets the online gallery. And followed by an email. If you would like, pick one or two images that you want. We're going to have that printed for you. Just tell me the media. It could be metal, could be canvas, and pick the size up to 24 by 36. The image is going to have my logo on it. Pick one or two images that you want. We're going to print it to you at no cost and deliver to your venue. Every single venue that I shoot, I do this. Doesn't matter how many weddings I have shot there. Doesn't matter if it's the first time. Doesn't matter if it's the 10th time. If you go to Briar Creek, where we shoot a lot of weddings, you walk into the offices. The office is covered on our images. And guess what? Brides walking there and say, "Oh, that's a beautiful image. Who is that photographer? Oh, that's Photos by Clay. Here's the card. Business cards in there. We are on their preferred vendor list." Because everything they need, they have an event. Hey, we're going to have this event, blah, 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 blah. We'll go there and cover it for them. Right? So this is the kind of connection that you're making to get the referrals back. Because venues and wedding planners, they have a huge weight on the bride's decision. Okay? So in what we do, we do the same thing for the wedding planners. The wedding planners, when I'm shooting, I really spend time on capturing the details. We have some planners who are more than planners. We work with some planners who are designers. They're called wedding designers. So they design the arch, they design the altar, they design the flowers. They know what's going to be. They work together with the florists. So it's their vision of the wedding, right? So what we do, we go there and we shoot details of every single part. And when the wedding is over, we send them an online gallery of the details of the wedding and tell them, those are your pictures. Let me know if you want something printed for your portfolio, for your marketing. Let us know. We're glad to print it for you and give it to you free of charge. Right? So you're making those connections. This is what happens. All right. That's how you make that's how we make connections to keep our wedding business going, right? To survive on this saturated market. Again, you may look at this and say, well, that's good and everything, but how does that make a difference? It makes a difference because now when I go in there, Briar Creek, I keep using Briar Creek, but I could use like Bella Colina Mansion. Bella Colina Mansion is a place that we photograph a lot there, and guess what? When brides come in there, so we need a photographer, they always recommend us. They always recommend us, right? So we're there. Gosh, I don't know how many times a year we're there photographing, right? But again, we give them everything they want. We give them every images. We give them everything they want. They ask us, we give them, because this is what makes their connection. This is what brings them back to us. Hello, good night, welcome. So, and same thing for wedding planners. Wedding planners, make sure that you photograph the details. Make sure you understand the job of the wedding planner. All right? Because if it's just a wedding planner, the person's not going to be really focused on a day off coordinator. That's what I want to say. If you're shooting weddings, right? If it's a day off coordinator, the person's not going to be really concerned about details and that stuff. But if it's a wedding designer who have the vision for the wedding, who designs all the table arrangements and everything else, you want to photograph those and make those pictures available free of charge to that person, because that person has a huge pull with the bride when it comes down to hiring. So a lot of our referrals today, like I said, I think like 80% today comes from Google, and a lot of those, the remainder comes from planners and wedding venues that we make those connections, right? This is what it means, make connection, because you guys are going to hear, oh, make connection, how I make connection. All right. Then now you're going to look at me and say, Clay, that's great and everything, but I don't shoot weddings. I shoot high school seniors. How am I going to connect? Where am I going to go to connect? If I was a high school senior, if I was a high school senior photographer today, I would be looking to clubs, school clubs, right? Photography club. The school has a photography club. Do they need some tutorial on something? Do they need some help with something? I'm going to go there. I would look into the coaches and make connections with the coaches and go and photograph the event for free. There's a soccer game. There's a volleyball game. Hey, coach, can I come and photograph? Can I come and photograph that? It's free of charge. I'll come and photograph the event. You're going to have all the images. Right? Because now you're there with your camera, mom is watching you, dad is watching you, and then they're going to get those pictures. So those pictures are awesome. Who is that photo? Oh, I saw that photographer over there. Hopefully you have your business cards on you. You're not going to go, you can if you want to. I don't advise that, but it's up to you. It's not who I am. I don't go around passing business cards. But if I'm going to go something like that, I have my name of my company on the back of my shirt. Right? And people watching me, name of my company and the website, people watching me, and I'm talking to mom, I'm talking to dad as you go, and to make that connection, because those are the ones who are going to buy your things. And you start making your way into the school, because I know for high school seniors, it's really hard to get in. So whoever's in the market is not leaving. Whoever has a grip on the school, the yearbook pictures and stuff, those people never leave. They have a really solid connection with the school. It's really hard to get in, but it doesn't mean you can't photograph the seniors. I mean, they go outside of those photographers to get the pictures taken, right? So that's what I would do if I was high school senior. I would make connection with the coaches and going out to the events and start photographing for free and give it to them. Give them. This is marketing. There is the concept. This is a whole different concept here that I talk about a lot. Remember, if you guys have heard me before, you probably have heard me saying the concept of hard cash and soft cash, right? Hard cash is everything that comes out of your pocket. Every piece of dollar that comes out of your pocket. That's hard cash. Soft cash is your time. You're not spending money like hard money, but you're spending time, which is also money, but it's your time. So this is marketing. You only spend soft cash, right? And you're going to spend money maybe giving like 1 or 2 images or whatever, right? But the return investment is big. 1 or 2 sessions you cover on that one, plus everything that will come out of that, right? So families, let's say if you're shooting families, I would be making connections with places that sell clothing for families, right? Small boutiques, like, you get a family, say, hey, let me work on a wardrobe for you. Go to those boutiques and start making those connections. So they're going to post online, they're going to tag you on those pictures, you're going to borrow those pictures, you're going to talk about them online, and they're going to tag you back, and this is creating revenue for you. Right? So you should always be looking for those way to make connection. If you're part of a church or part of a group of people who have family, that's a great place to be. I don't go to church, but it's a great place to be, right? So you have a bunch of people there, and some of those people, they always do photography. I shoot an event for free every single. We've been shooting that event for 5 or 6 years now. It's called the Pretty in Pink. It's an awesome foundation that help women with breast cancer. They help with expenses, have exams. They help with insurance copay. We shoot the event. We've been shooting the event for 5 or 6 years now. It's a 2-day event. It's a lot of work. My wife goes in the morning. She shoots because they have tennis games, and they have soccer golf games, and also they have a silent auction where they raise money. So we cover 2 days of the event. So my wife goes in the morning, shoot the women tennis. I go at night, shoot the guys tennis games, and my wife goes back on the next day on Friday to shoot the golf tournament, and at night I go to shoot the silent auction. So, and we give them all of those images, and we get a lot of business from that, because people have been seeing us for 5 years. We are a part of the family. So always making those connections. We shoot this all for free. It's for the cause, not only for the business. It's a good cause that we support, but there's another way to do this, right? Find a cause that you support, a cause that has welcome. So find a cause that supports, find something that moves you, and offer your work for free. There's nothing wrong in working for free as long as you're looking at the marketing side of it. Right? So when you put all of this together, those are the strategies that we have, that we go through. This is strategy that we put in place to survive in this market. And listen, this changes every year. right? Every year we're always doing something different here, something different there. Again, I'm measuring what I'm input. If I'm putting money on something, I'm measuring, is this being efficient? Every year I measure it. For instance, one thing, for instance, I was ranking on Google on 5th page, and I got a company hitting me, hey, I can guarantee you first page on Google search engine, just give us 6 months. And I call back and say, okay, let's talk. And they say, it's going to cost you this much a month, blah, 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 blah. But you guarantee in 6 months, you're going to be in first page on Google. I was on page 4 or 5, I think, at that time. Not sure. We said, all right, let's do it. So I signed up. They said there's no contract. I said, okay, cool. So I was paying, like, for 6 months, I paid them, right? But again, I'm going there every week and see where I'm in ranking, right? Guys, 6 months of money down the drain. Didn't move one single spot. After 6 months, we were on the same place. I called back and say, hey, it's not working. I'm still, so your 6 months is here. I wait for 6 months. I paid for 6 months. It's not working. So I'm not going to be working with you anymore. So I cut out the excess that they had on my account. And they were like, oh, give us some more time. I said, no. I mean, you said 6 months, 6 months. We didn't move like one single page. It's not going to happen now. Right? So I moved to another company. In probably like 2 to 3 months, we came from 5th page, I guess, to 2nd page on Google. So always measure your marketing efforts. Always see your hard-earned money. Make sure that it is paying back. All right? Guys, I don't want to take this too long. It's already longer than I thought it was going to be. I hope this helped you. Let me know here if you have any questions. I'm glad to answer any questions that you have. And I hope this clarifies a little bit of this craziness of, the market is always going to be saturated, guys. It's always going to be saturated. Again, it depends on you. You can step back and say, oh, it's saturated, what am I going to do? And hope for the better. Or you can step up, put your foot on the gas pedal and keep moving forward, because the harder it is, the more you have to work. That's just the way it is. There's no silver bullet. There's not one piece of advice that I can give you that's going to make everything get better. It is a bunch of stuff put together that's going to make it work. All right? All right, guys, that's all I have for tonight. Let me know if you have any questions. If you have questions, hit me up on my DM. And if you want me to talk about any topic, let me know. I'm glad to come live here next week again and talk about something else. Everything photography related. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, Ray. Thank you so much for you to stay here and listen to me. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. Guys, have a great night, and I will see you at some point. Bye.